Hey crafters, welcome back to Vinyl Diva Crafts. I'm Nikki, and in today's video I wanted to share a couple of projects that I created recently for a big announcement in our family. My husband and I got a brand new golden retriever puppy named Jake, and to share the news with family and friends, I did a little bit of like a birth announcement for the puppy and shared everything via social media. So a lot of the footage that you're gonna see here today is a little bit older, but I didn't want to ruin the surprise for everyone close to us. So now that everyone knows and has had a chance to meet Jake, I can go ahead and share all of these fun projects with you and hopefully inspire you to recreate a couple of them for your own big life announcement. So if you're interested in seeing what I came up with, stay tuned because those projects are coming up next. Okay, so the first little project that I want to get working on happens to be an unboxing as well for this new addition to my craft space. This is the We Are Memory Keepers button press. I've had this on my wish list for some time now and finally broke down and purchased it. And I want to use it to make one of these really cute ribbons. These are made using the larger attachment, the 2 1/4 inch attachment. And as you can see on the side of the box here, the machine only comes with the medium attachment for the medium-sized buttons. So I went ahead and just picked up the small attachment as well as the larger one that we'll need for this project. That way I've got, you know, everything in my arsenal so I can continue making fun buttons in the future. So we're going to go ahead and get to unboxing here. And the big announcement in our household is that we are getting a brand new puppy. So what I wanted to do was make a really cute little promoted to big brother button for our kitty cat. I thought it would be kind of cute to sort of do a play on a baby announcement and take some fun pictures of our puppy announcement. So I think this little ribbon will be a super cute addition to our big reveal to family and friends. And in the box you get the instructions, and this just kind of outlines what all of the different parts are and looks pretty detailed, lots of pictures, which is very helpful. So we'll be able to kind of follow this step by step. And then this and all of this fun bubble wrap. We've got a box that contains the medium button attachment as well as the cutter, so that will cut our shape out. And they actually give you some medium-sized buttons to play around with. And I believe these are the cutting plates. I've kind of been doing my research, so I know a little bit about how this works. I'm still going to need the instructions for sure. And then this is the button press. Look at how sleek this is. And it's got some good weight to it, so I feel like it's going to do a really professional job. We'll just snip the handle loose here. Oh my goodness, that is spring loaded for sure. So be careful when you cut that loose because it'll bounce back. But we've got our nice little lever. And I'm sorry, there's not a really great way to film the whole machine, but this is kind of what it looks like. And I'm just going to kind of open the instructions up so that we can get a better idea of what steps we'll need to take to actually, you know, cut our project out and then press the button. So this is telling us how to install the white cutting plates. So that's these like the flatter pieces. So there's one that's kind of flat on both sides, and that will go in the top portion, and it just clicks into place. And then this bottom piece has the little notch in it So that's what this one is here, and it will go into the bottom portion. And this doesn't really, it doesn't click into place like the top plate does. So this is what it's going to look like when it's standing upright. And like I said, this project requires the larger size buttons and attachment. So I'm going to move this medium one and the buttons off to the side because we won't be using those. And I'll bring in the larger attachment that I purchased separately. Now this piece here is the cutting plate. So I'm going to go ahead and get all of our supplies and start cutting out the paper to make our button. Okay, so I'm bringing everything back in so that you can see I've got my cutting plates installed into the machine, and the instructions that we want to look at first are the ones for cutting. So this is the cutting system setup. So we've got our 2 plates, and then we're going to bring in the little circular piece with kind of the black foam backing. It's got 4 little crosshair grid lines on it, and that's what we will be using to align our paper exactly how we want it. So this is that cutting piece, and the additional portions of the attachment are the actual button press. So these will come in to play later when we bring in the additional materials for the button. But for right now, I just need this cutting plate and my paper. I went with kind of a, I guess it's sort of like a retro, kind of boyish patterned paper. And we don't need all of this excess, so I'm just going to trim it down closer to size. It's a little bit easier to control in the button press. And I'll lay this on the cutting plate, and then with those little crosshairs, you can align your paper exactly how you want it to appear in the finished product. So you know, if you have a directional piece of paper, you'll want to make sure that it's centered in those 4 little crosshairs. And then this is just outlining how the little plate on the bottom, you kind of align the, I guess, die, for lack of a better term, and you swivel this back underneath to make sort of a little cutting sandwich. And let me see if I can tilt this so you can kind of see the sandwich effect that I'm talking about. So you have cutting plate, die cutter, paper, and then the other cutting plate. So I'm going to press down kind of hard. I'm going to give it maybe 2 good presses because I want to make sure that this cuts all the way through. So a moment of truth. Let's see how we did. Oh, look at that! A perfect circle. Not too bad. Okay, so now that we have the circular part of our button, I wanted to put some lettering on here, and I figured vinyl was way easier than trying to print on the paper and center everything. It was just way easier to work with. So using my Cricut, I cut out this really fun offset in this holographic blue vinyl, which I don't love this particular vinyl. It's always really difficult to weed, but I have a roll of it, so I figured might as well use it up while I've got it in my stash. So just a couple little areas that I have to weed out. And then the little phrase that I'm going to be putting over the offset is promoted to Big Brother 2023. And I am really hoping that the words weed out correctly because it's super tiny. So I'm going to go ahead and fast forward through all of the weeding because I'm sure some surgery will be taking place. Oh my goodness. I really had to work for that one, but I think it's going to be worth it in the end. I'm going to go ahead and cut my transfer tape out. Like I said, that font was very, very tiny, so bear that in mind if you want to put something, you know, like a word on your button. Try to pick something a little bit more substantial than what I've done here. I will include the font information down below in case you're interested in recreating this, but I don't recommend. It's very, very tiny, but I'm going to go ahead and place the transfer tape over the top of the phrase, get it placed on the offset, and then onto our paper, and then I'll meet you back to make the actual button itself. Okay, so this is now ready to be pressed into the button. Okay, so I've got the paper now all cut out and ready to go. Now we're going to need this little piece that goes behind it, behind the paper, and then the plastic that goes over the top of everything and encases the button in that really shiny plastic. And our next step, I'm going to just kind of put these off to the side. Our next step is to replace the cutting plates with the pressing plates. So again, this one with the notch in the bottom is going to go in place of that bottom cutting plate. And this kind of flatter piece will replace the top cutting plate. And I believe this is all magnetic, so you'll kind of feel it engage and sort of lock into place once you've got it in there correctly. So again, I'm going to kind of try to tilt this on its side so you can see. So everything here is labeled. There's a couple arrows on each part of the attachment, and an A and a B. And that will make sense once we kind of get cracking here on pressing our button. So this is the next set of instructions for pressing the plastic onto the button. So we're going to place this metal piece in first, and it just kind of settles right into the press. And then again, you're going to line your paper up and place this nice shiny plastic over the top. And everything's kind of notched, so you know exactly how to line everything up. So now we can swivel that bottom portion under and give it another good press. So I will swivel this underneath, and you're going to want to double check to make sure that we've got the A's lined up. So there's going to be two arrows, and you want the A's to be in line with one another. And then I'm going to, again, give it a good hard press. And we'll swivel this back out. And you can see that the button has now been, I guess, placed in that top plate. So it kind of stores it up there so that we can move everything over to the B alignment on the attachment. And if you were using a pin backer, you would place that in the bottom. I'm doing the ribbon, so this is the backer that came with the ribbon kit. And it kind of just nestles into that bottom plate again. So I'm checking my sandwich again, B, B, and all of the arrows line up. So we can give it another good press. And again, I'm applying decent pressure here. And I'm going to give it a second press. I want to make sure that everything is really well attached here. Oh, and it got stuck up there. But, oh, look at that. Oh, is that cute? Oh, wow. That's awesome. It looks very professional. Got something sticky on the front, but look at how cool that looks. And the holographic vinyl is definitely, it's a nice touch. A pain to weed, but it really looks cool on this button. Oh, I love it. So, I mean, labor intensive, yes. Worth it, also yes. And this just, I think it just clicks into place on the ribbon. I don't know. That doesn't feel like it's totally engaged. Let me see. I think I'm going to give it one more little press. And it should, yeah, it snaps. It kind of snaps into place. So there we go. Okay. So now you can see it's really nice and attached there. And you can always swivel this around if the alignment is a little off, but look at how cute this is. And when I pin this to the cat's collar, I just think it's going to be absolutely adorable. So let's go ahead and move on to the next little craft. Okay, so the next project is a personalized food container for the puppy. And using my Cricut, I just cut out some basic paw print and bone shapes as well as the puppy's name to place on his plastic food container. So I'm just going to speed through weeding everything out, and then we can get to placing the decals on the food container. Okay, so I got all of the smaller little decals cut out, and now I'm going to weed out this larger image, and this is just going to say his cute little name. I was going to say Jake's Food, and I just kind of used a generic bone shape, like a bone outline in Design Space, and then put the word food in the bone. I just thought it was kind of a cute little touch. Oh, I love how this looks already. It's going to be so cute on his little container. Like I said, if I'm going to vinyl all the things for myself, I'm going to vinyl all the things for this little puppy as well. So now that I've got everything weeded out, I'm going to go ahead and place all of these onto the bucket. Well, necessity is the mother of invention, so change in filming location. But this is Jake's Little Food Container by Boots and Barkley. I got this at Target, and I'm going to use my weeding tool here to remove this sticker, and then we can go ahead and wipe this down with some rubbing alcohol. Alright, so the sticker has been removed, and I'm going to use a little rubbing alcohol, as always, to prep the surface. And this will get any of the, there's like a couple little spots where there's some sticky residue. It'll remove all of that residue, and we'll just get this surface ready to receive the vinyl. And I went with a permanent vinyl on this just because, you know, it's going to be used every day. So we'll wipe this down and get to sticking. So I want to start with the larger decal with his little name on it because this is going to need to be centered. So I'm going to use the Cricut Strong Grip transfer tape. Honestly, I'm just using this because I have a roll in my craft room that needs to get used, and I've used it on like stencil material and I don't really like it. It's very hard to pull up, I feel like. So I'm going to use my little peel and reveal technique that you've probably seen a couple times on this channel if you've watched any of my other videos, where I just kind of peel back a little lip, about an inch or so of that transfer tape, and then lay it down on the project and slowly peel that backer away while simultaneously laying the transfer tape over the design. This just kind of helps keep everything relatively flat. I still ended up with a couple little wrinkles here and there, but better than I would have done on my own had I just, peeled a big chunk of that transfer tape off. So now I'll remove the backing from the transfer tape, and that transferred really well. Looks really nice. So now I'm gonna just try to center this to the best of my abilities. Like I said, I got creative with filming this because it just was such a big container. I didn't know where I could stick it so that we could see the whole thing. And centering this upside down is, oh, it's a challenge. So let me just, I'm gonna flip this so that I can get it right. And then I'll flip it back so that you guys can see it right side up. But I'm centering it, from side to side, but I want the words kind of closer to the top. I don't need it like dead center, but it looks pretty good. I think that's relatively centered. There's another little bubble there. So I'm gonna have to just kind of lift this up again. And then we can, smooth it down. There we go. I think that's the ticket. I don't want any bubbles in the vinyl because, like I said, this is going to be used every day, so I want to make sure, and it's not going to get a ton of wear and tear, but it's going to be in the kitchen and we're going to be going in there periodically, so I want to make sure it's as that we get, just a good, that it sticks really well, I guess. So, see, this transfer tape is just, it's so sticky. So yeah, I'm sure it serves a purpose, and maybe I'm just not using it correctly, but I don't know that I'll purchase this again after this is out of my craft room. So there we go. Oh, but look at how cute that is. Oh, his little name. And I love the touch of the word food in that bone outline. It just looks fun and energetic, like a little puppy is. So with the bone decals, I'm just going to stick those on like a sticker, and then I'll use the transfer tape on the paw prints and just get all of these decals placed all over the container. Last little paw print going down, and I tried to keep everything as random as possible, And boy, do I think this turned out so cute. It just looks like it has a purpose now in the kitchen, right? Like just so, so fun. And you could absolutely, if you wanted to, personalize the top of the container as well. I'm going to leave this blank though, and we'll get to work on the next craft. This puppy announcement would not be complete without a little bit of fun apparel for Jake. So I cut out a cute little design in HTV that I'm going to place on this plaid bandana. And I went with this kind of flannel looking bandana from Hobby Lobby because my husband works for a sports media network and his nickname is Flannel Sam. So of course I had to pick something for the puppy to match his dad. And I'm just going to go ahead and weed out all the little finer details of this design and get it placed on the bandana. How cute is that? Hello, I'm new here. And you could place this on the diagonal, which would be super cute. I think I prefer it horizontally, but I've included all of the design information down below in case you'd like to purchase this for yourself, and you can play with the alignment however you would like. So I'm just going to prep the surface here and use my Cricut press to get this placed onto the material. So as you can see, I went with it horizontally. I prefer the look of that. I think that turned out so cute. And I'm just going to kind of place this on my mat here to cool it down a little bit. And then look at how adorable. Oh, he's going to look like a little Boy Scout. How cute is that? Oh, and then I just always like to kind of turn whatever material I'm working with inside out and then just hit the back of that with a little bit of heat to make sure that this is really pressed on there nicely. I don't foresee him wearing this for very long because he's going to outgrow it so fast, but you know, got to do it right. So just going to give it about 30 seconds here on the back. And I did actually end up cutting the bandana down a little bit. So, yeah, this is just like a little portion of one of the ones from Hobby Lobby. Look at how, I love this like buffalo plaid. So, so stinking cute. And of course, on a golden retriever, is there any color better than red on a little golden? This is going to be so cute on him. So I'm giving it a nice crease there. And look at that. Oh, so precious. I absolutely love this design. And I think he's going to be so stinking cute in this little bandana. So to build out the photo for our announcement, I picked up this letterboard from Hobby Lobby, and it came with all of the kind of printed letters and numbers. And then I went ahead and purchased these scripted letters from a shop on Etsy. I'll link it below for you. I absolutely love these. I think it looks really cool with the printed font, you know, when you kind of mix and match. Really, really cute. So I'm going to include the bandana in the photo as well as his first little toy. And then I just picked up a couple other little pieces that I thought would be fun to play with, like this wooden paw print. And this was from Hobby Lobby as well. And I got another little beaded wooden piece that says, woof. So to see the final look, stay tuned. I'll include a picture at the end of the video so you can see how all of this came together. So this is the newest addition to our family. This is Jake. And I hope that you all were able to find some inspiration in the projects that I created here today. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. And if you would like to become part of my YouTube community, I would really love it if you would subscribe and hit that gray bell for notifications. That way you will always be up to speed on the content that I'm creating. Thanks so much for checking this channel out. Hope to see you guys soon. Bye!